Afghanistan is a country devastated by war and terrorism. And the presence of international troops in Afghanistan hasn't changed that. New strategies are being discussed for the mission to free Afghanistan from the grip of the Taliban, from drugs, corruption, and war. In one of his first official acts, the new German Defense Minister Karl Theodor zu Guttenberg flew there to assess the troops' situation on the ground.
Whenever I drove out, there were always bullets whizzing around. Basically, you could always expect them.
German soldiers, initially sent as peacekeepers, have often come under attack. They also open fire, as with the NATO airstrike on 2 fuel tankers. The exact circumstances of the incident that led to numerous civilian casualties have only now been disclosed, and this has had repercussions. Much has changed since the Bundeswehr was first deployed 8 years ago.
The soldiers talk about war being waged here, and many people at home see it that way as well. That's why I've said I have to be clearer and simply state the truth, that there are warlike conditions in parts of Afghanistan.
German troops have been fulfilling their mandate in the ISAF operation for 8 years now, without success. Politicians are under pressure, as people in Germany don't understand what their army is doing in Afghanistan. A shift in strategy is what the troops themselves also demand. The German Federal Armed Forces Association represents the interests of service personnel. It's been observing the situation for years and warns it can't be solved militarily.
We can't just play the military card. Military means can bear only 20% of the burden. 80% must be accomplished by other means, building up a police force, a judicial system, and the economy. That's what has to be done. We've already lost a lot of time. I estimate at least 3 years, and it's a Herculean task.
The German government has to act. The newly sworn-in development minister has given priority to Afghanistan, earmarking 52 million euros for humanitarian aid.
In pledging these funds, we are clearly making an advance payment and expect the Afghan government to contribute to the success of stabilizing and developing Afghanistan by strengthening the country's security forces, consistently fighting corruption, and providing better government leadership.
Demands are being made of President Hamid Karzai. Election fraud and corruption in the country have alarmed the international community. Experts are calling for more checks on the government.
When it's been ascertained that there's corruption at the top, those involved should lose their jobs. That can only be done when the necessary international aid, such as financial aid, is linked to conditions and is suspended if no steps are taken against the corrupt leaders.
Aid organizations that clear landmines or deliver food to the valleys are sharply critical of the military mission in the Hindu Kush. They say the military presence has made their work more dangerous, not safer. There have been over 100 attacks against aid organizations this year alone. Numerous aid workers have been kidnapped and 17 killed.
We've had to suspend projects in rural areas, for example. Our partners feel threatened. They can be kidnapped if they're in contact with foreign organizations. Sometimes their lives are threatened. So it's become very difficult overall, and much of the work that's so urgently needed to support people is no longer possible.
At their conference on Afghanistan in Berlin, NGOs warned that a spiral of violence threatens Afghanistan. The military mission is supposed to support humanitarian aid. Instead, it's making it more difficult. The organization said that to succeed, civilian reconstruction must finally be given more support. That's what the Afghans themselves hope.
I think learning from last 8 years, and particularly do not repeating same mistakes, and thinking clearly and asking the Afghans, or at least opinion, that will be achievement. I'm sure you will see the consequence and result.
Germany, Britain, and the US are still searching for a new strategy for Afghanistan. Time is of the essence. to make sure more of the country doesn't fall into the hands of the Taliban and to give the people of Afghanistan the prospect of peace.